Hello there, I am Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars, and we're back to talk about the lunations. So we are now deep into eclipse season in August and just about to talk about the full moon. So this full moon partial lunar eclipse will be happening on the 28th of August at 4 degrees Pisces. So 4 degrees Pisces with the sun at 4 degrees Virgo. And one of the last eclipses in that axis, as we have the lunar nodes already moved on, right? So we had the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo for about a year and a half. And in July, the lunar nodes have shifted from North Node in Pisces to North Node in Aquarius and South Node in Virgo to South Node in Leo. So that's very important because as I was sharing with you guys, the eclipses will always have a connection to the lunar nodes. So the moon is not too far from that North Node in Aquarius, even though they're in different signs. So this is an important one. Remember, full moons are always connected to culminations. So something culminating, and obviously what's culminating is connected to that new moon solar eclipse in Leo. Now, what Pisces and Aquarius have in common is that they are much more collective signs. Pisces is about the interconnection of every being, and Aquarius is about the interconnection of every human. I mean, every being as well, but in a less spiritual sense, in a more here, right now. Let's respect diversity. We all have the right to be here. We all have the right to exist and to have a good life. That's that sort of Aquarius vibe. So this full moon is definitely a culmination in connection to those themes, with some of the lessons we've had in connection to letting go of the shadows of Virgo, overthinking, overanalyzing, and picking ourselves and everything around us apart. And I can say that because I am a Virgo myself. And embracing a little bit more compassion and kindness. And, we're all struggling. We're all suffering human beings, as one of someone I knew used to say a lot. Now, this full moon, let's have a look at the full moon chart and aspects, then Sabian Symbol, and then the tarot cards as usual. So for the full moon, there's a very, very important aspect that this full moon is doing, which will color this combination very, very strongly. And it is a square to Uranus. So the full moon happens at 4 degrees, 54 minutes of arc of Pisces. And Uranus is at 5 degrees, 37 minutes of arc in Gemini. So there's a really strong applying square from both the moon in Pisces and the sun in Virgo as well. Mercury is in an almost exact square with Uranus because Mercury is at 5 degrees Virgo here. So they're both 5 degrees in a perfect square. And I really feel this is definitely a dominating energy for this full moon, for this culmination. And there's something here that obviously when we think about Uranus, we think about unexpected, we think about unpredictable, we think about awakening, we think about shock. So remember when we were talking about the eclipses and leaving your luggage behind and the sense of earthquake that sometimes eclipses can bring? Well, with Uranus, this could be even more highlighted. I feel that with Uranus being super involved in this full moon eclipse, it's like if there's anything that you're doing that you're already feeling you're stuck in a rut, you don't want to do it anymore, you're really bored, you're really tired of that, or relationships that really do not make sense anymore, and you've been sacrificing a lot of yourself to still be in that relationship, in particular if there's no room to breathe. This is very important with Uranus, and that's very important for personal transits with Uranus as well. There's this big idea, out there. If there's a Uranus transit coming to you, then your relationships might break up. Not necessarily. I think relationships might suffer when we don't give enough room to grow. We don't give each other enough room to breathe, to become the people that we're becoming, because we're constantly growing and changing. It might not seem like, but it is happening. And if the relationship does not evolve with us, then either one of us will break up, or we might have a Uranus transit kind of stir the pot, and then we walk away in some way, or we end up being separated by higher forces of some sort. So there is a sense of awakening that's really strong when Uranus is involved. Because this full moon is for all of us, is an eclipse for all of us, regardless of our charts, that flavor is going to be really under the spotlight here, right? The awakening of new ideas, learning something new, understanding something from a new perspective. There might be a real compulsive desire to communicate, because it's in Gemini and is in square to that Mercury in Virgo as well. So it's very mercurial in that way. So it's really important to navigate this energy as conscious as we can, because once the energy fades, we might regret some of the things we say. So pay attention to what you're saying. Mercury is one of the strongest planets here in this full moon. So really pay attention to what you're saying, what you're conveying, because it might not really be what it seems. It might just be a really strong impulse in that moment. So really pay attention to that. But there is definitely a sense of liberation that this full moon eclipse will be highlighting. And with the full moon being in Pisces here, near that North Node in Aquarius, it is about collective energy. It is about our role in the collective, or even higher service is one that I really love when I think about Pisces. It's about higher service. It's about connecting with the source. It could be, it could also be psychic abilities, fine-tuning a little bit further. Suddenly we can hear things, we can, you get really premonition dreams or something really powerful that happens. So really pay attention to what's going on around this full moon, because psychic abilities could be highlighted. Our relationship to our tools, our runes, our crystals, our tarot cards, could be really strengthened as well with this full moon. The way we communicate with them, or what's communicated through them as well. There is also another grand configuration in this chart, and is a yod. So Pluto at 3 degrees, Aquarius is in sextile to Neptune at 3 degrees Aries, and they're both in conjunct, which is a minor aspect, to the Sun and Mercury in Virgo. So there is a kind of a finger of God pointing out to that Sun and that Mercury in Virgo. So, again, key word here is service. How can we serve? How can we bring something to the collective, to the community, Really, really important to think about that North Node in Aquarius now. Serving the group, serving is to benefit the group, not just us, not just our own desire, or inflations, or illusions about separateness. It really is about that connection and that interconnection and becoming interdependent as well. This is really highlighted with the North Node in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius as well. So that's the aspects. Now for the Sabian symbol, I love that because it really affirms some of these ideas of this full moon. So the Sabian symbol for this full moon for 4 degrees Pisces is a church bazaar. So a church bazaar. So, that is perfect for that full moon eclipse. 4 degrees Pisces, really near that North Node in Aquarius. It is working for a larger cause. It's really not about personal individual profit. It's not about me, my shop, my brand, and I'm doing my thing to make millions for myself. It really is about that larger cause. There's nothing wrong with profiting. There's nothing wrong with having a business and having making a living and having a good life. But it is about working for a larger cause. How does your brand and the unique gift that you bring into the world serve others? Are you doing something that's bringing good into the world, that's benefiting other people? It's about community work. Community work is about needs being nourished, of more than just me, than just my own belly button. The world does not revolve around, is that egocentric, selfish, desires there. It's like letting go a little bit of that and understanding and being authentic, bringing your gifts, doing your, following your unique purpose. But that inevitably brings good into the world and to others as well. It's not just about bringing good to you, right? So this is really important. It's about spiritual service and higher service. So let's keep brainstorming on that and getting insights about that and working with these energy as consciously, as intentionally as we can. And finally, for the tarot cards, Pisces is represented by the Moon card in the major arcana. So again, psychic abilities, knowing without knowing, our intuition, dreams, subconscious and conscious, the collective unconscious, all of that. And for the minor arcana cards, we've got the 8, the 9, and the 10 of cups. And for these decan of the full moon, which is the first decan of Pisces, it would be the 8 of cups. So that imagery of leaving something behind that doesn't serve anymore, going on a spiritual quest, searching for something more meaningful, is part of what this full moon is about. So that's it. I hope this has been helpful. I'm wishing you a wonderful, magical, beautiful full moon in Pisces, and I'll be speaking to you all soon. So take care now. Bye bye.